He thought he'd broken me the moment he slid the paperwork across the table. "Just sign it," he said, eyes steady, voice rehearsed. "The sale's already done. My family's ranch, the one I built from dust, sweat, and debt, had been sold for $5. To her. His new prize." I stared at him for a long moment, long enough for the silence to start biting. Then I smiled. Not the kind of smile that comes with forgiveness, but the one you wear when the endgame is already in motion. He thought my silence meant defeat. He had no idea it meant checkmate. When we met, I was 27, young enough to mistake loyalty for love and trust for partnership. He was charming, ambitious, the kind of man who could sell a lie with a straight face. Together, we built his dream, or so I thought. A dying stretch of land turned into a thriving ranch, horses, cattle, a luxury retreat that investors whispered about. He used to say we were unstoppable. I believed he meant together. Turns out, he meant until he found someone better. The signs started small. Late nights that didn't add up. Phone calls taken outside. The faint scent of vanilla perfume on his jacket. Never mine. Then came the laughter, soft, rehearsed, drifting from the barn when he thought I was gone. Her name was Claire, a visitor turned business partner. I found the first message on his laptop. She'd sent him a photo of my ranch with a caption, "Imagine it's ours." That was the moment my heart stopped breaking and started calculating. People mistake silence for surrender. I've learned it's a weapon. I didn't confront him, didn't throw out his clothes, didn't make a scene. I played the role of the oblivious wife. I smiled through dinners, kissed him goodnight, and listened. You learn a lot when you stop reacting. That's how I found the loopholes. He never paid attention to contracts. But I did. The ranch wasn't ours. It was mine. The deed was in my name alone, a quiet legal restructure I'd made 3 years earlier for tax reasons. He never noticed. But Claire would. Over the next 6 months, I rebuilt my silence into strategy. First, I moved assets, slowly, quietly. The accounts, the livestock, the retreat business, all transferred under a new LLC I formed in Nevada. He was too busy pretending to be in control to notice I'd already moved the board pieces. Then I let him think he was winning. He drafted fake sale papers with his lawyer, the one she recommended. I signed where he told me to, handed over what looked like my signature, and smiled when he gloated. He thought he'd sold the ranch for $5. In reality, he sold his reputation, his company, and his freedom for nothing. Because the ranch he sold wasn't mine anymore. It belonged to the LLC, which had no ties to him. The sale he filed? Completely invalid. But he didn't check. Too blinded by arrogance, too eager to impress her. When the county clerk flagged the ownership discrepancy, I simply let the process unfold. Fraud investigation. Asset freeze. Audit. By the time he realized what had happened, the bank accounts were frozen, the retreat was closed, and his name was plastered across court documents under pending litigation. He called me that night. "I know what you did," he said, his voice shaking. "No," I whispered. "You have no idea what I did." He showed up at the ranch anyway, or what used to be his version of it. Claire stayed in the truck, mascara running, looking like someone who just realized her fairy tale came with fine print. He stormed into the house, demanding answers. I poured him a drink. "You played me," he said. I met his eyes. "No. You played yourself. I just let you think the game was still on." He didn't respond, just stared at the framed deed on the table. My name printed in bold. I'd hung it there for moments like this. The court ruled in my favor within months. Fraud voided his sale. He lost the ranch, the business, and nearly everything else. Claire left him when the bills came due. Last I heard, he'd moved 2 states over, trying to start again as a consultant. Still talking big, still spinning lies no one buys anymore. As for me, I rebuilt. The ranch is quieter now, peaceful. I planted new trees where the old barn once stood. I don't look back often. But when I do, it's not with anger. It's with the calm satisfaction of a woman who refused to scream, and instead strategized.